Hello and welcome back to One Mormon and His Dog. Today I'm talking about going to church for the first time and what to expect. There's a common misconception that only Mormons can go to church. That people that aren't of the faith aren't allowed in there, but that's totally untrue. What the misconception is the difference between churches and temples. Yes, it's true that temples are only open to active, faithful Mormons, and the average person outside of the faith just can't go into a temple. However, church services are open to everybody. You're going to be most welcome, and there's going to be nothing that to stop you from going in there. Now, one thing you should know is, first of all, no one in church is actually employed. No one gets paid. The head of the church that you go to is called the bishop. He has a regular 9 to 5 job like you and I, and he does all this bishop work on top of it. You know, it's quite a dedication to spending all your free time devoted to the church. So no one is employed there. Now, when you first go for the first time, it's most likely it'll be at the invitation of the missionaries to come along, and they will meet you there. They will make a special effort just to make sure that you'll get there and you are going to be welcomed by someone that you recognise, rather than just walking into a room full of strangers, which, let's face it, anywhere you go, it's just walking in for the first time that's full of strangers is quite a daunting experience. And they'll probably stay with you during the services and the classes that you can go to. Now, the first meeting you go to is the actual church service, is called the sacrament, and is in most Protestant churches it's referred to as Holy Communion. This takes place every week, and one big difference you'll notice from your regular churches you've been to before is that instead of wine or fruit juice or whatever it is, they do the sacrament with water. So it starts off with you doing the sacrament, and then you'll have various talkers that have been invited by the bishop to talk, and these are usually just regular members of the congregation. They're not pastors or anything else. They've just basically got a topic for the day and arranged with the bishop that they would do the talk. Now, during this service, there's no collection plate goes around. No one's going to ask you for money or expect you to make a donation. It just doesn't happen in Latter-day Saints Church. After the first hour, there's then Sunday school. Basically, there's different levels of Sunday school for however experienced you are in the faith and what your knowledge of understanding is. But initially, you'll go to a class which is really set out for new people to learn about the church, learn about what Mormons believe, and how it could possibly differ with your previous conceptions of the faith. Now, Sunday school is usually done by someone experienced. Sometimes it's the missionaries. In my case, quite often the missionaries will take the class, and it's very fun. I know you understand that most churches you go to, you're only there for an hour for the service, but the classes are actually very fun, and it's a good chance to get to know and meet other people who are mostly at the same level as you, as new in the church. Now, after that, there's one more hour, which is separate worship, where the boys go off one room, girls go off in another room. And usually then, you've got one of the senior members of the church or experienced members of the church will give a talk on a particular subject. Maybe the subject is of the day. It's an interactive process where, members of the congregation will actually participate, share their opinions. And there's no wrong opinions, unless you come out and say Jesus Christ is not my Lord and Saviour, and that, that might be considered a wrong thing to say. But, why would you be there if that was the case? However, it's very open. You can't make it for yourself. However, if it's your first occasion, you won't be asked to talk or say anything. If you do get asked and you don't feel comfortable, just say so, but the chances are you won't get asked. I was there about 3 or 4 times before I got called on to say anything, or mention a comment, do the closing prayer. That was actually fun when, you know, the guy felt comfortable enough to turn around and ask me, David, would you do the closing prayer for me? I thought, wow, you know, I've only been here, I'm not even baptized yet. You know, they already trusted me. Because the big difference is, most places you go into for the first time, you're a stranger. You know, people come out with these platitudes of, hey, welcome and whatever, and they'll put on this false sort of, you know, persona of, you know, I'm doing my duty. The difference I found, and I don't know if this is the same for all churches, you know, there's 1,000 odd Mormon churches out there. I haven't been to all of them, but I would believe that they're probably very similar. Is most people who approach you and introduce themselves, and a lot will, they'll recognise that you're new, and but they genuinely treat you like a guest rather than a new stranger. You're a guest, and they treat you as if you've just come into their home, you know, for the first time, you know, in a social activity. Very, very nice, warm, friendly welcomes. And so also when you go to the churches, it doesn't matter what you wear, you will be welcome wearing anything you like. Typically, men wear shirts and ties and possibly suits. Women wear long dresses, but you're not obligated to do that. If you want to go out in your jeans and a t-shirt, I've been the first time I went there, I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt. I didn't know that they had a particular dress code, and I lectured my missionaries afterwards saying, you know, oh look, I felt very out of place when I turned up there. But the truth was I wasn't out of place, you know, I was just teasing them. So the basics of it is you go along, very friendly, warm, welcome people, and they will, you know, really will make you feel at home. And there's no pressure on you, there will not be any pressure on you. If you're sitting in the class and they're talking about something you want to disagree with them, you're more than welcome to disagree with them. Don't be antagonistic, but that's the general social thing. You know, you don't go into there to antagonize them, but you know, nothing you say is wrong. It is open and friendly, and at the end of the day, you go home, and it's up to you to decide if you want to go back again. And I really hope you do. Again, I'd love to hear stories from you about your first times at church, or if you had any problems or anything else I can enlighten you on that I may know about. And if I don't know the answers, I can find the answers for you. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Coming up next, I'm hoping to make a video where I actually introduce the dog in my Mormon and his dog, if I can get him to sit down long enough to do a video for it, just for a bit of fun. So it's 11 days to my baptism now. I'm really looking forward to it. It's getting very exciting. And until the next video, I hope you have a blessed day. Once more, I state these videos aren't endorsed by the LDS. Opinions are my own. Mistakes are my own. I hope you'll click and subscribe, and we'll carry on this process of working together in our new lives with the Church of the Latter-day Saints. God bless and take care.